Beautiful souls, and welcome to the Hawk and I. Everything I do with spirit is spirit guided. All my workshops, my mentoring programs, my one-on-one sessions or group sessions, whatever it is that I'm teaching or wherever we go, spirit is always leading the way. When it comes to workshops, spirit will give me an idea. I'll get the idea, and then I get the download. In comes the manual on how they want to teach, what they want to say, and the direction that I need to go in. My mentoring programs are very interesting. I do offer levels 1 to 4, and I've been doing this for several years, and every level at every time is always different. And the reason is people are very different. How people learn, how people connect, how people work with their own spiritual gifts is always changing. So spirit gives me new information and new ways of teaching and new directions to go in all the time. Now, this YouTube channel, no different. Spirit and I sit together, and I always ask them, what should we talk about today on YouTube? And today, Spirit said to me, Lana, let's have some laughter. Let's bring some smiles. Let's share some of our fun adventures that we have, or some fun things about your mediumship. The world is overall pretty serious right now. There's some lockdowns going on. There's some political stuff going on. Energetically, we're just kind of struggling a little bit. So I thought it was a great idea to come on and just share a few funny things about spirit and myself. I did share in a previous YouTube video my go-ahead sign. This is a sign that spirit must show to me before I do any random messages or readings in a public place. And it just lets me know that I'm safe to go ahead and do so. Now, when it comes to spirit and the funny side of them, one of my favorite spirit signs that always makes me laugh is if you are telling me a fib, if you're lying to me, what happens is a song starts playing in my head. Liar, liar, pants on fire. And as the song is singing, your pants suddenly go on fire. No, not actually. Not literally, but in my awareness, your pants catch on fire. And it's my sign that you are not being honest with me. It comes in quite handy with children who may not be telling you the truth, or if anybody is being dishonest. It's not easy to put one past spirit when it comes to fibs or lies. Now, if I meet somebody and if they're not being authentic, or if their integrity is off, or if there's a bit of a warning sign, maybe someone's trying to sell me something and, it's not an honest sale, or anything that has to do with being phony. What I get is a dancing piece of baloney. And this dancing piece of baloney has googly eyes, big googly eyes, big awkward feet. And he does this dance on the shoulder of a person who's not being straight up, who is being a little phony with me. And then he dances, and it's phony baloney. And it every single time that phony baloney or liar, liar, pants on fire come into my awareness, it's really hard for me to keep a straight face because it's just so comical. Now, I do have a personal spirit sign that when I'm driving, sometimes I may be going a little fast. And what happens is the General Lee from the Dukes of Hazzards will literally come flying across my dashboard, just clear across my dashboard. And the police car from the Dukes of Hazzard with the Rascal Pico train and behind it is chasing the General Lee. And 99.999% of the time, within like half a kilometer or so, there will be a radar trap. So I always listen to the sound of the General Lee and being chased by the Rascal Pico train, and I back off on the throttle. Now, a few months ago, I had an incident where I backed into my garage door accidentally. And spirit felt quite bad for me because it was a bit of an incident. And so what's been happening ever since then is every time I back my truck up into the driveway, I have the spirit that is waiting for me at the garage door. And what he does is as I'm getting closer to the garage door, he runs in front of the backup camera. And every single time I fall for it, I slam on my brakes and I grab my steering wheel, thinking someone is in behind my truck. And what Spirit is doing is Spirit is just trying to make light with me that, yeah, I may have hit the garage door, but he's also kind of being a bit of a guidance system for me as to not to do it again. Now, most of my stories with Spirit start off with, I was just minding my own business. I was out doing something, minding my own business when I was at a friend's house, sitting on her back deck, enjoying a glass of wine on one summer day. And there was this ruckus coming from a couple houses down, and there was some yelling, and there was a lot of noise. So, Spirit gave me a nudge and said, you need to go check it out. And as we're walking towards this house, the police arrive, and I'm like, oh dear. So we're kind of standing there on the sidewalk listening to what was happening. And long story short, one person was accusing another person of stealing an item, and it was quite heated. So in comes Spirit, and Spirit says to me, this is a real big misunderstanding. The item isn't stolen. It's been misplaced. And Spirit tells me where the item is. So in I go. In I go, and hello, I think I know what you're looking for, and I know where it is. And I start sharing this information. And suddenly everybody starts to shift. And they start looking at me like, quite odd. And I tell them what I do. And I said, I'm a medium and I do some remote viewing and I can see the location of the item. And I start getting questioned. And I said to Spirit, I didn't sign up to going to jail, so you better help me out here. So what ended up happening is I started doing some reading. I read the police officer got a message, and the two households each got messages, and Spirit showed up for about an hour and a half in someone's front yard giving messages. Now it was kind of a real funny situation to be in, because all of a sudden it was like, oh no, I'm the one they think that stole it. The item was exactly where Spirit showed me. It wasn't stolen. It was just misplaced. And the person that misplaced it did feel terrible about what happened. And things energetically just got way out of hand. But Spirit brought it all back in to alignment, and we did have a good time. Another real funny situation was I got a call from a client who was having a lot of spirit activity in her house. Things were banging. She was hearing a lot of footsteps. It was worse at night. She was having just, some real unsettled feelings about being in her home. So I went over and did a house assessment and feeling out the energy, and everything felt really good to me. I wasn't picking up on anything out of order energetically. So I gave the house a good smudge. I thought, well, I'll give it a good smudge since I'm here. And just as I'm finishing up, I get this little nibble on the back of my leg. And I look down, and there's the spirit dog. And he says to me, I'm not going. I don't want to leave. This is my home. And she's been asking me for signs. So, I just kind of chuckled, and I thought, oh, okay, this is a lot of fun. So I went up to the lady and I said, I've got your dead dog here. And her face lit up, and she said, I never even thought of him. I never even thought that it may be him that was leaving me signs. So we had a lovely discussion about all the spirit signs he's been sending me. And our meeting came to an end, and I was about to leave, and she opens the front door. And just before I'm about to step out, I look down, and there is a big pile of dog poop. Now, you may think, oh my goodness, but this lady just was laughing uncontrollably. She said, Lana, you're not going to believe what that dog poop means. And I'm like, it means that there's dog poop on your front step. And she goes, every day when I walk the dog, he would never do his business while we were out. You could walk him for an hour. He just wouldn't do his business. And as soon as we got home, he would poop on the front step. And it was the most incredible sign from spirit to actually get. But it was the same time I was like, oh my goodness, like what who does that? You know, what spirit does that? And it was the spirit of a dog that I passed. Now, you know, spirit and I go everywhere together. Everywhere I go, I always see, I always hear, I always know. And, you know, spirit brings in a lot of love and laughter. It's not always sad or grief. They do like to have a lot of fun, and they do remind us that there is just so much joy and love and fun that we can have here in the physical world. These are just a few of the fun times and the great spirit signs that I do get with spirits, and the laughter that they bring always just fills my heart with so much fun. I do hope that you enjoyed a couple of my stories here today, and I hope that we were able to bring you a little bit of joy and perhaps put a smile on your face. It was great to see you here today. Please like this video, and if you'd like to know more about me, you're welcome to visit the website, thehawkandI.com. Thank you very much, and have a spirit-guided day.